camp at Standing Rock cleared, the hearts of water protectors across the country broke, as what was once a beacon of hope to the indigenous people of North Dakota, hosting numbers close to 10,000 protesters, went up in flames. For nearly a year, it had been the setting for a bitter showdown between opponents of the Dakota Access Pipeline project and the project's developers. From inhumane acts of force by militarized police to unbearable weather conditions, water protectors braved the extremities to stand for a cause that would uphold the safety of millions of people who are now at risk of having their water supply contaminated due to oil spillages from the 1,000-mile-long underground pipeline set to transport crude oil across 4 states from back-in oil fields of North Dakota to an oil tank farm near Illinois. A risk that, according to recent case studies surrounding previous spillages across the country, is very likely. But with broken hearts comes a movement that remains persistent, hungry, and most importantly, more educated on the moving pieces that lead up to the unethical abuse of land for corporate gain and what we can do to help prevent this. One of those moving pieces happen to be, more than likely, your bank. 17 banks from around the globe are part of the $2.5 billion loan to build the Dakota Access Pipeline, including the likes of Wells Fargo and Citibank. Throughout the heart of the protests, activists identified the banks at fault and looked to encourage bank users to defund and move their money elsewhere to a bank that was not funding the injustice. Switching banks was not just a form of protest. Now, while it was a long shot, protesters were hoping a massive movement of money out of the project's primary lenders could convince these banks to back out. And it actually worked with some involved. For instance, Norway's biggest bank, DNB, announced that it had sold its assets in the Dakota Access Pipeline and that it was reconsidering its loan, accounting for 10% of the total funding for the project. That same message also had a resounding effect in Seattle when the city council unanimously approved a bill to terminate the city's approximately $3 billion depository banking relationship with Wells Fargo, in part because of its business relationship with the company building the pipeline. Like a domino effect, this then inspired the City Council for Davis, California, who voted later that day to divest its $124 million depository relationship with Wells Fargo by the end of the year. So yeah, while it hurts to see the camp vacated, we must remind ourselves of these small victories that demonstrate the power of protest when we understand that while increasing national awareness is crucial, in the end, money talks. Money is the only language that these corporations respond to. So when you threaten their pockets, you pique their interest. And so we must now use the victories like that above to continue to resist, to continue to defund and pressure the banks into questioning their involvement in projects like the Dakota Access Pipeline. Follow me on Instagram @Francis M. Maxwell and continue to resist.